Hello and welcome to Advertisers Watching Ads. This is a weekly show where brands watch other brands' ads and discuss what's good and bad about them.
Well, I think they had the nicest car rental experience ever.
So this is a genuine kind of problem which they're trying to solve with the technology, which I really like.
Is the reality as good as the promise? That's the worry.
As soon as I'd seen it, I'd Google it and then find out how much it costs to fly to the Faroe Islands. So.
My name is Tom Ollerton. I'm the founder of Automated Creative, the creative effectiveness ad tech platform. So before we see this week's tourism ad, I think you call it, let's meet this week's guests.
Hi, I'm Adrian O'Brien. I'm the European General Manager for the Wellbeing Collective at Unilever.
Hi, I'm Ivanko. I am the founder of Mom XP Lab.
I'm Tom Fenwick-Smith. I'm currently Senior Creative at Generation, which is Three's in-house agency.
So I'm Pete Markey. I was the CMO of Boots until about a month ago for over 4 years, and I'm the current president of ISBA.
Algorithms drive tourists to the same places. Even in one of the most secluded places on Earth, the Faroe Islands, the tourists flock to the same places to take a picture, which gets more tourists to the same place to take the same picture, which gets even more tourists to the same place. Well, the same picture, same waterfall, same picture. You get the picture. Everybody gets a picture. There you go. Yeehaw! Now, the Faroe Islands may have found a solution, the self-navigating car rental.
Your signature right there.
If you want this car, you have to accept that the car decides where you go, no matter what. In return for embracing this unpredictability, this car will take you to places few have been before you.
Continue on this road for 4 kilometers.
Every vehicle will steer visitors in different directions, ensuring their Faroe experiences are as personal yet decision-free as possible.
Where is this car taking us? Wait, what? Okay, wow.
The car will share local stories.
The legend says that the giant and the witch try to steal the Faroe Islands.
And even guide the passengers where the car can't go.
Continue on foot for 1 kilometer.
To hidden gems and local secrets they would never have found by themselves. After all, why go to the same places when there are thousands of equally stunning places you can have all to yourself? Would you dare to sit behind the wheel of a self-navigating car for your next holiday?
On a scale of 1 to 5, how amazing is this ad? 1, 2, 3. We've got a 3 and a 3 and a 2. Gosh, well, there you have it. Right. I'm really conflicted about this bit of work. Who wants to take a punt at what's actually going on? Tom, do you want to have a run at this?
The thing that I find really interesting about this bit of work is this is a problem of their own making that they're trying to solve. How I know about the Faroe Islands in general was because their previous campaign where they had Sheep Street View, and it was to encourage Google to use their technology to map out the whole of the Faroe Islands. They put cameras on sheep, and it was brilliant. It was like a really interesting campaign. It got loads of reach. It was like quite innovational, and obviously a partnership with Google really flourished. And as a result, the Faroe Islands was put on the map. Loads of people started going there, but they all went to the same place. So they kind of hadn't built the infrastructure enough for the tourists. This feels like an attempt to do that. And what I love about campaigns like this is places which are hard to get to or have very bad signal often create great test cases for mobile phone companies or for technology companies to be able to bring connection. What I like about this is a genuine kind of problem which they're trying to solve with the technology, which I really like.
As an idea, it's fun. It feels original and fresh. It felt clever as an idea, and it felt like the antithesis of sort of overly formulated package holidays. And I think you definitely come away with lots of stories and lots of memories. Felt very viral, very shareable, which I liked as well.
The thing that really confuses me about this is the Faroe Islands, right? Like, what's their budget going to be? They're not going to have like, let's build some self-driving cars and set up this kind of mad infrastructure. I think there's something else going on here. Tom, when you talked about Google and Sheep View, this feels like a B2B type integration. Like, this isn't the story. The Faroe Islands didn't go, let's shell out on some cars.
When you delve into it a bit, it's not self-driving cars. It's just a sat-nav. And if you think about it, actually what it is just a guidebook of less visited places. They've got like 3 vehicles. So the substance behind it is pretty limited. The insight is a fantastic one in terms of, yes, you don't want your Instagram to look like everybody else's. And there is, if you're going to go to the Faroe Islands, you know, which is quite an obscure place anyway, then already you're probably excited about the idea of going off the beaten track. So I think this idea resonates. The actual activity is probably quite a bit more limited than the concept sort of suggests. And in the spirit of being advertisers watching ads, I thought the ad was really boring. The first 30 seconds, I was like, yeah, okay, this is a really interesting concept. And then we had another minute of slightly gratuitous hillsides. I think they could have made this much more interesting by telling human stories of where I went, the people I met, the experiences I had. But a minute of just hillsides felt like it missed an opportunity to really tell different stories.
Well, I think they had the nicest car rental experience ever. Like, if you rent a car in the US and you try to go to like a Hertz desk at the airport, they will never sit you down. You will be standing in line with like 100 people who are trying to get a car. This was so nice. You sit down with a nice gentleman. I thought that was quite nice. It was a really interesting start of like, oh yeah, I don't want to get the same pictures as everybody else. But then kind of like the storytelling slowly faded out and we didn't see, okay, what are those other pictures that you could get if you take this car?
Is that a real problem? Whose holidays are ruined by having the same pictures? Isn't that the point?
I went to Iceland, which isn't, you know, it's not a million miles away from a Faroe Islands experience. And I was thinking it was a bit like this. You go to these amazing places, which are, you know, the geysers and the waterfalls, and your expectation is they'll be quite secluded, nature-driven places. Maybe that's my naivety. But you do turn up and there's like buses of people coming in and they're super, super busy. Like, I love this insight and I kind of love where it comes from and the connection to the Instagram generation. So I do think it's like a genuine problem. For me, I quite like the wilderness and the wild. So when I go to these places, I kind of want the solitude that comes with it, or that feels is prescribed by a location such as the Faroe Islands or Iceland or any of those kind of places where you can feel like you can get into the wild a little bit.
I think the promise there, though, isn't it, is that you can have a bit of a mix there and have the holiday you want. I didn't feel it was sort of going, oh, you can't have those main things you'd want to go and see. It felt like, but we'll also take you to these other places. It's getting us talking, isn't it, about the Faroe Islands? Something where you can get off the beaten track and do the pictures you want and everything. You're going to go, oh, that's quite an interesting holiday. But the film doesn't quite capture all that, is the worry. We're filling the gaps in for it. But the fact it's got us talking and has the promise of something like that, I think is interesting. So the film, for me, is working on that sort of tease level to get us talking.
As soon as I'd seen it, I'd Google it and then find out how much it costs to fly to the Faroe Islands. So straight away, they've got me interested in finding out more, which is, I guess, part of the point of it.
Yes, it's got us talking about it. Yes, it's on this show, but it's with the ginormous backing of Google. It's not specific to the Faroe Islands. You could have done this in Iceland. You could have done it for, I don't know, like the Galapagos Islands. Yes, it's got us talking about it, but Google have dumped a physical infrastructure and put up loads of money for a sexy video and all that stuff.
But does that matter, Tom? I think it's a bit of like, we know that, but does the average punter know that, and do they care? And I actually think it's very smart as a marketer if you go, I piggybacked on someone else's budget to create this film. I'm like, freaking heck, that's brilliant. My worry is more about, at my earlier point of, is the reality as good as the promise? That's the worry. But I think to get someone else to help craft something with you, amazing.
Pete, that was such a CMO answer.
We love a freebie.
What happens if the car loses connectivity? Like, are you stuck somewhere on the island and you can't just drive back?
It feels like there's an insight here about wanting to discover and have bespoke experiences and try new things and being an adventurer. And it feels like there's a tech solution that probably doesn't solve that, but they've put the two together and it ends up with us having a conversation about visiting the Faroe Islands. So I guess they all win in that situation.
These remote island locations are a really good opportunity for storytelling. And I think Google have really understood that when it comes to the Faroe Islands. You know, I think the sheep approach and having Google Street View told from all these different perspectives through connectivity previously was such a home run hit. I think it's the UGC element that I really want to see. Is like, I'd really love to see the real experience off the back end of the glossy ad.
What's the next thing? Because this dies with this film if it doesn't go further. It's just a bit of a stunt and it got us talking. But I think particularly when you get someone like Google to pay for it, is you want, hopefully, that relationship to extend, to give you a lot more content, a lot more impact.
Would you sign off this campaign in its current form? 1, 2, 3. And then next question, is the Faroe Islands in your holiday consideration set?
Definitely.
Brilliant. Guys, thank you so much for your time.